Things I do not like about the Apple Watch. The first thing I mainly do not like is the fact that it's a touchscreen. And I know that's kind of the whole point of the watch, but as somebody that has little kids and I'm always banging my watch against things, it is kind of annoying to have the ability to make a phone call to anybody or send a message to anybody with the touchscreen on your wrist. I wish there was a way to disable it, similar to how Garmin has it. But if you disable it, then how do you use the watch? We can't exactly use buttons all the time to interact with it. And so that's at least understandable why we can't disable it, but the touchscreen is a bit of an annoyance. The second thing I'm not a huge fan of is battery life. This here's the Apple Watch Ultra 2. And while yeah, battery does last a handful of days, it's still not awesome. It's enough to wear it without having to worry if you're just wearing it as a watch. But if you want to sleep with it, go through the day, not have to worry about charge, maybe sleep with it again and go for a longer hike, you're going to have to find a battery top off at some point along the way. And that's kind of an annoyance, where the battery drains just enough where you don't have to worry about it every single day. But if you want to throw in a little exercise, then you do need to worry about it every day. And that's something I'm not a huge fan of, is that the battery life is just a little bit lacking. The next thing I absolutely hate about this is the flashlight. Yeah, it's kind of nice to be able to adjust the brightness with the crown up and down, but it is annoying to have to access it by touching the screen and going through these menus. And then it's too smart, where when you rotate your wrist down, it will dim it. When you rotate it up, it'll brighten it. The amount of times that I have flashed myself and gotten myself in the face with this is just too many to count. And so it's very, very finicky and tries to be smart with your arm movements, but it's just really a pain in the butt. And yes, you can also map your action button to the flashlight, but I have found that that has been incredibly glitchy, that when I press that button, it doesn't know what to do to turn itself on. It tries to work with my wrist. It's honestly behaved much better for me to utilize this through the menu like that. So the flashlight, even when it's on, is a little bit lackluster when compared to something like what you get a proper LED light on a Garmin. But in a pinch, it'll work. The final thing I'm not crazy about is the band swapping in this. And I know the band swapping is supposed to be super easy to push this little button, but as somebody that has a hard time pressing that little button, and I don't typically have fingernails, it's kind of a pain in the butt to swap these out a little bit. As compared to something like the Garmin, the Quick Fit, this is no longer the quickest and easiest option on the market to swap bands, in my opinion. And those are the handful of things that I don't care for about the Apple Watch.